Simon Miller here with another one, as it's now called, of my Miller's musing, because my name is Simon Miller, and if you muse, it's like when you kind of think about something and then, maybe put it out there, I don't know, whatever. It's a vlog. It's basically a vlog. Now, I imagine this one may go up a little bit late on Monday because there's a bunch of other stuff going on, but I thought I'll record it, and then I'll try and get it up as best as I can. The other thing I was going to say before I started doing this one is, if you can go and share all of these, should you deem it shareable enough, that would be great, because my new thing now is I want to spread positive messages across the world. And the only way we can do that is if we put it on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, tell a friend, tell two friends, do whatever. So if you like these and you think it would help somebody else, maybe you can tell them or whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's my new goal for 2018, is to spread love and joy across the world. Like I'm some kind of, I don't know, like magical man. Don't know what that means. Not 100% sure YouTube videos can do that. Anyway, you may have seen the title of this one. It's a little bit... motivation is the wrong word. I mean, it is, but it's a bit hippy-trippy, I guess. However, it is something I truly believe, and again, it is something that people ask me about a lot, so that's what I'm doing now. When people ask me questions on Twitter at Simon316 or in the street, that doesn't happen. But it's that my thing is, okay, well, I'll take that, and I'll give the answer here, rather than just do like a quote tweet or whatever. I'll actually use it to make a YouTube video. Now, obviously, failure is a very, very real thing. You know, if you try and work out 2 + 2 and you say it's 5, you failed at that sum. So I'm not kind of tying it into that way of thinking. And also, and you would have seen thousands of videos like this, thousands of Instagram quotes, probably like a bird flying past the I don't know, Statue of Liberty with with a quote underneath it. But it is true. Failure is the most important thing in the world. There is nothing more important than failure, because when you fail, that's when you learn. And it's so true. And there's also, failure is a really funny thing, because when you do fail, you can get down, right? You can get sad and you can be upset, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because they're all emotions that we feel, and there's a reason you should feel them. But it's about learning from them, and learning from them is obviously the most important thing. However, when you do fail, if you do learn from it and you use that, in your experiences going forward, then that failure is the best thing that ever happened to you. And it's the classic thing, right? You see these successful people, you think, oh, wow, they've smashed it. But I bet you in the 10 years previous or whatever, they have failed time and time again, but they've picked themselves up and they thought, okay, what did I do wrong? And what did I do wrong? What can I do to make sure that I didn't accomplish my goal that time, so this time I do accomplish my goal? There's that saying that's, an overnight sensation is actually 10 years in the making or something. It's because they've been applying their craft, and then they got a lucky break, and they were ready for that break at that time because of everything they've learned going up to that point. And I genuinely think that's true. Because you can't be successful at everything. And also, what the hell is success? Success to some people is being a YouTube star. Success to some people is passing a university degree. Success for some people is having a friend. Success for some people is having a wife and kids. Success is just a word, and you have to apply your own meanings to that word, and then from there, you take it forward. However, the main point of this video, and the thing that kind of ties into my wrestling training, if you don't know, I'm training to be a wrestler, and a lot of people ask me about it, and they say, what advice can you give me? And the best advice, aside from like specific advice, which I don't think I'm qualified to give out, but from a more overview and general point of view, the best thing you can do is, if you have something inside of you, and you can apply this to anything, so not just wrestling, whatever you want to do. If there is something inside of you that says, I want to do that, go and do it. Go and do it. And as soon as you make the decision to do it, you haven't failed, because you're doing it. Now, there then becomes this whole other thing where people say, well, if you quit after a week or 2 weeks, well, then you failed and you're a quitter. No, you're not. I've never bought into that. As long as you're going with your gut, and you're going with your heart, and you're going with your feelings, and everything in your body is saying to you, John, if your name is John, or Fiona, John and Fiona, this is not for you. You shouldn't do this. Now, there's nothing wrong with giving it a few more weeks and seeing what happens and eking it out. But if that feeling is there, and and you're being true to yourself, and then you decide, I don't want to do it anymore, you haven't failed. You haven't quit. You've actually made a very brave decision, and you've listened to yourself rather than put yourself through heartache because you're worrying about upsetting somebody else, or you think, it's about perseverance. No, it isn't. Perseverance is a very a key thing to tie into my wrestling training. I had a few injuries, and I was a bit scared of going back. That's when you persevere, because deep down I knew I wanted this, so I keep going. The failure part, I don't like that word, but we'll go with it, is if you don't even try. Because then one day you can get to be an old man or an old woman, and you can look back and you can have regrets, and that's where failure lies, to me at least anyway. Because I think it's incredibly brave to want to do something and then just go out and do it. That's really hard. That's really hard, because again, maybe you do flat on your face, maybe you suck at it, maybe You don't like the environment. Maybe you don't like the people that you meet. There could be 1,000. It's like relationships, right? What if it all goes wrong? You don't know, but you try. You try. And as long as you try, you can't regret anything. There's an amazing saying that's called dare to fail. I love that, dare to fail. And it basically means take the risk of putting yourself out there, even though what you're worried about is failing, because it doesn't matter if, but the whole point, it should be dare to live, really. That should be the saying. Because if you do that, you've done it. And it doesn't matter what the quote-unquote success part is. Let's say you want to train a wrestler and you make it to WWE. Wow, I mean, that's amazing, but I don't think that's the success point. I think the success point is the fact you did it in the first place. The rest is just life. The rest is like, well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens from this point. And that is what I mean about that I don't believe, or how not to fail, as the video of the title is. That's why I don't believe failures exist. And that's why I do a lot of stuff. Like one of the tweets I get all the time is, Miller, how do you find time in the day? Because, I make videos and I've got my band, if you don't know. I'm training to be a wrestler. I've got, work stuff, general life stuff. And it's because I just do, which is a terrible reasoning for anything. But it's true. If I want to do something, I think, well, I'll just go and do it. I'll just go and do it because why not? Because I don't want to... I don't want to ever look back and go, oh, I should have done it, so I just do. You know what? Sometimes I fall on my face, and sometimes I make terrible mistakes, and sometimes I hurt. Some days I wake up, I don't mean physically, of course, physically, but mentally, some days I hurt. It's a very tough thing to say on camera, because you want to come across like, alpha male, I'm so cool, but of course I do. I make mistakes, and as I'm learning and growing through those mistakes, I have pain like everybody else. And that sucks. Nobody wants to go through that. And that ties into the other Miller's Musings videos. We did one on anxiety and we did another on positivity. And it all ties in. Again, it all goes down to having good days and bad days. But that's why you've got to do this stuff and just see what happens. Just don't hold yourself back. That's the key. Do not hold yourself back. As long as you're being true to yourself and you're doing things that you're passionate about, it doesn't matter if you want to quit after 3 weeks. Because you know that's the best thing. You can put that in a little box in a bubble. You can walk over there, nothing over there, but you can walk over there and you don't have to think about it ever again because you put it to one side. You crossed it off your list. And maybe it goes somewhere. Maybe it becomes the best damn thing you do, and then you keep it on the list, but you do something else. But the point is, you never have to think, what if? And that is where I believe failure is. That's why I think that people feel like they failed. Because there's nothing wrong with if you get fired from your job, or again, a relationship breaks up, or you cut your head open wrestling. I don't think that's failure because you put yourself in the eye of the tornado, right? And I think that is something that isn't stated enough. I think that's something that could be stated more, and that's why I thought I'd state it more today. So really, live your life the way you want to live it, positively and nicely. Don't go and punch anybody in the face unless they deserve it, or you're wrestling, or you're a boxer, then it's okay. But yeah, more often than not, trust yourself, trust your instincts, and don't let anybody else tell you that what you're doing is wrong. Again, unless you're murdering someone, then it's probably wrong. There's a huge percentage chance that it's wrong. But I really do think that embracing life, we are getting hippie trippy now, and again, putting yourself in a position where maybe you do feel a little bit sad, that's okay. Because you'll pick yourself up eventually, and you've got a nice little experience that will hopefully make you grow as a person going forward. I draw a line under it there. I keep looking over here so my audio is, and I worry it's going to stop. But I like to keep these around 10 minutes. I think that's a good thing. As always, share your experiences below in the comments. Let me know what else you want me to vlog about. I think every Monday now we've settled into, and this is going to go way late. So much to do. But anyway, we'll put it up. Who cares? It's not about them. Views would be great, but it's not about that. Let me know what else you want to vlog about. Like, share, subscribe, do that, all kind of nonsense. I'm on Twitter at Simon316. And yeah, just treat yourself nice. Be kind to yourself. Salute to sign off. I'll be back with other stuff in the week on this channel, but in terms of the Miller's Musings, I'll see you next Monday.